Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first issue of the Ultimate Comics podcast. I am your host, Globmin, from the I Read a Comic When I Was 4, and base my whole personality around that Facebook page. And this is my co-host.
I'm Forrest. I'm also foreman over at that page. I'm not going to say it because that's too many words. And I also run Gwenpool's cringe posting.
Yes.
Today we're going to be talking about how we got into comics and how you can also get into comics if you're not already in comics.
Or get your friends into them.
If you want to harass your friends and you're like, hey, read comics, because we all have friends who don't read comics.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess you should start it out.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll talk about my origin story first or whatever. I grew up on like this island. We were poor. We didn't really have any places to get comics, and even if we did, we couldn't afford them really. But there was special occasions and like gifts and stuff. So I ended up, I think it was Dark Horse was doing this Godzilla comic at the time, and I was like a real big into the Godzilla movies as a kid. My grandpa would like record them off the VHS and send them to us.
Nice.
So I got into that, and I also had this Iron Man arc where Fin Fang Foom comes back because I was really into dragons. That was like my introduction to comics when I was like 8, and then we moved to Ontario. I'm from Canada. Woo! We moved to Ontario, and in Ontario, we were still poor, but like we had the internet, so I could look up all these cool story arcs and stuff like that. So I ended up like looking up the Exiles and a lot of the Ultimate stuff because that was what was like going on at the time. It was like new, and I was like, oh, like there isn't all this like continuity in there, and like I ended up falling in love with all the continuity anyway. And then later on, when I was an adult, I got a job and I made friends. Which is a rarity, I know. And so all my friends were into comics too. And like my one friend, he had all the Ultimate stuff and he lent it to me. And my other friend had like Civil War and a bunch of the Spider-Man stuff. So I read all those and I was like, I bet I could like fill in the gaps if I just like downloaded it because I was a big pirate. Back then, I would download music, I download movies, I download shows. And like now I have money. So I like support the industries I love. But like back then I fucking didn't care.
Yeah.
So I pirated it all and I read it all and then like I was hooked. From there I had to go out and buy it. I think the first single issue I bought like as an adult was Death of Spider-Man because I couldn't wait for it to like get like uploaded or whatever. I had to have it in my hands. I think I read Ultimate Fallout 4 literally on the way home from the comic store. I could not wait to get it out of the bag and read it. And so that's pretty much my origin story. That's how I got into comics and how I'm still into comics.
Yeah. My origin story is kind of similar to yours because I started earlier. I started when I was 4. And I initially started reading comics because, not to brag or anything, but I was kind of reading faster than the other kids at kindergarten. And the teachers and my parents wanted me to like read novels and stuff. But to this day, I get really bored by like text with a lot of words. So I just cannot pay attention to them. So they were worried that I would like become illiterate, basically. But I really like reading the Nat Geo magazines. I don't know why, but I was obsessed with them. And one day, my grandma was at the mall, and she saw what she thought was a magazine about the Punisher, Daredevil, and Spider-Man, who all three had movies in cinemas at the time. So she bought this supposed magazine, and it turned out to actually be a comic. That was my first comic, which I actually have here, and it's the Ultimate Team Up. I don't know what issue by Vendis, and it's kind of fucked up because like the story is about Punisher trying to kill a guy who's trying to kill his children, I think.
Oh yeah,
Y-
I forgot how messed up that storyline is. Wow, yeah, you mentioned that you read that when you were four, and I like that
yeah.
didn't even click. That is a really dark storyline.
Yeah, like you can
Bendis is
tell
such
from
a
the
sad
artwork it's
thing.
not for children.
No,
But
yeah.
my grandma didn't know, so my mom was kind of pissed. But I was amazed. Like Spider-Man beats the shit out of Frank, and it's great. So at that moment, I fell in love with comics, and I just couldn't stop reading. But then we moved cities, and the city where I live in right now, since then, since like 2005, there's comics everywhere. Cause like I've seen in America, you can only get comics at LCS, but here like you can get comics at the like newsstand, the mall, everywhere. So it was really easy, and they were really cheap back then. And I remember the first comic that I bought with my own money, which was save money from lunch, was also an ultimate issue of Spider-Man. Don't remember the number, but it's basically one where Moon Knight is introduced, and
Oh, the Ultimate Warriors arc or whatever,
yeah,
and
yeah,
they're
yeah,
all
Night
like,
Warrior,
yeah.
something like that. Yeah, yeah,
Ultimate Moon Knight is sick, and I always use that whenever I talk about the Bendis run on Moon Knight
yeah.
because the Bendis run on 616 sucks.
Sucks.
And
Yeah.
Ultimate Moon Knight is like proof that he gets the characters. So what the fuck happened?
Well, Bendis kind of fuck himself up.
He's too much. Like he just he'll take any gig. Like he'll just take anything,
He
and
just
there's
won't say
something.
no. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how much they pay him. But
he's like the Christopher Walken of doing comics.
yeah, yeah. So well, I remember it's one where Black Cat kisses Spider-Man. So I was like,
And then finds out he's 15.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And she was thick, so I was like all in from that point
Oh,
on. It has a lot of Bendisisms. Like there's a whole page where Mark Spector is talking to another one of his personalities, and it's like the whole page is a big ass fucking speech bubble.
yeah,
And to
yeah.
this day, I have not read it once because I started reading it. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And-
Oh man, but it's so good. I mean, like I don't know. I get why people don't like Bendis. I'm like, I don't really like his modern stuff, but like back then, I'm like, Bendis was at his prime. That have you read any of his like crime stuff, like Jinx or Torso?
no, no, I
Oh,
haven't.
you should check them out. They're really good. They're a little wordy. You might have problems with it, but I think Torso is actually based on like real murders. Like it uses real pictures and stuff from the
Okay.
actual crime. It's kind of a little messed up, but it's pretty dark. I like it.
I love Bendis, especially that era of Bendis, like House of M, Ultimate Spider-Man one. But I'm not gonna read a whole page of speech bubble, dude. Like, and it doesn't even say anything important. Like, I've always skipped it, and it's been fine. Like, I get the
No,
context.
I know.
Yeah, yeah,
It's Bendis. It's Bendis. Like
it's
I said,
Bendis. And my mom owned an internet cafe, so I did the same thing as you. Like, events that I couldn't buy because they were too expensive, like the omnibus, I would just read on Wikipedia or pirate sometimes. So
I,
so yeah, that was basically it. And then I just kept on reading. Like I've heard a lot of people have that phase where they kind of stop reading them, but I've never really had that. Like I just kept going.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No, yeah, I definitely had the in and out phase. Sort of like I was always sort of in the comics, but yeah, I definitely had many interests growing up.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So well, now that we've talked about our origin stories, I think we should speak a little bit about how people can get into them and how they can get other people into them, because I think that's the biggest issue, like getting into them. Once you're into them and get them, like it's super easy, but people seem to think it's really hard for some reason, and I think it's because they believe they have to know everything about everyone, when like most comic readers don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And like if they do reference some event, they're gonna let you know
Yeah.
like what that event is, or like they're gonna make some reference to it that you can at least look it up.
Yeah.
Like out, you don't have to read Bill Mantlow's Run on the Hulk to read Ali Wing's Immortal Hulk and understand the events he's referencing. But there's like they're all things from Mantlow's run and stuff like that. So it's like just read it. Just read it.
Just read.
You need to know something. We have the comic wikis, and honestly, like they are as frustrating as some of them are. Like your best friend in this case. Like you can look up anything you need to know. There's so many storylines I've never read that I know a fuckload about because I just looked them up.
Yeah, I literally haven't read anything pre 2000s, and I know I know everything I need to know. Like I feel, especially with the main characters like Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, if you know the basics, you can go on. Like if you know, oh, Uncle Ben dies, and that inspires like Peter to become Spider-Man. You already have the whole story. You don't need to go back to Amazing Fantasy and read all of that because it's kind of corny. So you probably won't like it. That's a big mistake.
And I mean, like, no, you keep going. Sorry, I
Oh,
interrupted.
sorry. That's a big mistake as I see a lot of people making. Like someone asks, "How can I get into Spider-Man?" And they're like, "Oh, you have to read the original Stan Lee, Steve Ditko run." And it's like, I wouldn't start there. Like, I think that's more if you're already a big fan, you go back to it. But I would not start from that at all.
I love Stanley, but that man is hokey as fuck.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I cannot read his writing. I remember, I think it was during the Dan Slott years. There was like a one shot written by him, and like it made. I'm not. I don't like Dan Slott like at all, but it made his writing look fucking golden in comparison. Like, oh my god, Stanley, what are you doing? Stop writing.
Well, like, yeah, I respect the dude a lot,
Yeah.
but definitely, well, I think most writers back then were corny just because of the era. Like, Americans were corny in the 50s, 40s, 60s, and 70s. But,
I mean, and like, there's a lot of good, like Peter David, like even in the early like '70s when he '70s, I can't remember when he got started, but even like his early stuff, a lot of the old Jerry Conway stuff is like pretty good and stuff, like the Death of Gene DeWolf, stuff like that. Like there
Mhm.
are old comics that aren't hokey, but they're like kind of few and far between.
Yeah,
Like you gotta kind of sift through it. But I would highly recommend going back and reading Avengers Forever from the '90s. That's a
Avengers
good.
Forever. Never read it, to be honest.
It's like the Kang series if I was to say one. But
Okay.
anyway, yeah, and then like getting other people into comics, that can be hard. I find it's like know your audience. Like know who you're pitching to. Find a series they're gonna like. I think Runaways by Brian K. Vaughan. That's one that like when it came out, people were like, "Oh, this is one that is perfect to get your friends who don't like comics into
Yeah,
comics with this series
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's so easily accessible. The characters are relatable. You're not bogged down with all that continuity." And that's another thing is indie comics. Indie comics are your friend there, and like it doesn't matter what you like. If you like horror, there's an indie comic for that. You like sci-fi, there's an indie comic for that. You like cape shit, there's an indie comic for that.
Yeah, yeah.
So like they're really good uh, companions, I guess, for getting people into shit.
Yeah, of course. I think my first tip for someone trying to get into comics is just to start reading. Like it's easy as like it's as simple as that. You can just go to a comic shop, you get an issue, like the cover looks cool to you, and maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't, but you can just start from there. A lot of people see like, oh, issue 730, and it's like, oh, I'm not gonna start here. But I think what a lot of people ignore is most comics say like, yes, issue 730, but they say like, I don't know, Bloodbath Part 1 or Part 4 or whatever, and that tells you what storyline you're in. So I think that's easier. Like just pick up the one that says whatever story Part 1 and just start from there. That would be my first tip.
I think if you're getting like started, don't start with singles. Start with a graphic novel.
Okay.
Go buy a graphic novel. Find the first in a series of like pick a character, go and just like pick a number one graphic novel at random. because then you won't have that like it's enough. A lot of things suffer from like say you pick up a first issue and it's the setup issue, and you
Oh,
know it's going to get better later, but
yeah.
like it's the setup issue. If you're not someone who's into comics, you're not familiar with the setup issue, right? So
Okay,
you're
okay,
just
yeah.
like, this is boring. I don't want to read it. Something like that. Whereas like if you have a graphic novel, you get the setup issue and then you get the payoff right after, and you're like, oh shit, this is good or whatever. So yeah, like my advice if you're trying to get into comics would be start with a graphic novel. And like, yeah, I know it's like passe to say, but like, don't afraid to be a pirate. If you like it and you want to go out and buy it, that's great.
Yeah,
Do that, but
yeah.
also like read it.
Yeah, especially with DC and Marvel, I think it's fair to read it.
Yeah, don't pirate indie comics.
Yeah,
Like,
don't
don't.
pirate in the comics.
Those people like need that.
Yeah, they really do. But with the main two, you can just pirate them, and if you like them, go out and buy them. I think that's a legit advice. But at the end of the day, I think any good writer will give you a nice cliffhanger at the end of the setup issue, so you'll be interested in the next one
Like,
too.
sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but like Children of the Atom just did recently or whatever. I haven't actually read it, but I saw everything about it online.
Okay, what did it do?
It set up like with a cliffhanger. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who wants
Oh,
to read Children of the
yeah.
Atom, but there was a
Eh,
cliffhanger, sort of like setup thing. Like there was like a thing at the end of the issue. I know what it is. I don't want to say it.
yeah, like it should be like that. Like it's set up, but then there's a cliffhanger or a twist that makes you interested in the next one. Because I feel like if you don't want to parrot it, maybe a graphic novel is a big investment for people who don't know if they like it. Because like I think it's worth it. I pretty much only buy graphic novels now. I don't buy singles. But as a start, like when you're starting, especially if you're a kid, you're not gonna buy a whole fucking like omnibus or you know.
Sales
So
rack. I don't know about anywhere else, but like my LCS has a sales rack. Like you can go in there and you can get a graphic novel for like $7.
that's another thing. I think most LCS you can just ask like, oh, I like this kind of thing. Where can I start? And yeah, most of them have a sales rack where you can check out.
LCSs are either great or they're awful. I've only heard the two things. Either my
Mm,
LCS is amazing, I love them, they have everything I need, they're so helpful, or my LCS is awful and literally scared me off comics. Like those are the only two positions on comic stores I have ever heard.
yeah, there's no in between. Like
There's
there's no
literally
regular comic book shop. Are either the stuff is full of like the fat nerds from The Simpsons, you know the dude,
yeah.
or really nice dudes who will really help you out. That's the advantage I think in Mexico, where I can go to the mall and get any comic book that I want, and I don't have to deal with that sort of stuff.
What actually thinking about it, like they don't sell like single issues at the mall, but like a lot of the record stores and stuff at the mall, they have graphic novels and stuff like that. Like chapters, like the bookstores, they all have graphic novels. So like yeah, you really actually don't need to like you do for single issues, I think, but like if you're looking for graphic novels, you just go to chapters if you don't want to deal with I mean I'm in Canada. I don't know what the equivalent of like your chapters would
Yeah,
be if you're in America or anywhere else, but like they have graphic novels there if you're
yeah.
in Canada.
Well, before COVID, they did have single issues in supermarkets. Now, because
Ooh,
of COVID, they only sell like graphic novels with like plastic packaging.
okay,
But
sweet.
before that, they did, so it was cool. Like I would always go to the supermarket and tell my mom, "Oh, get me this, please," and they were super cheap, so she would.
Yeah.
That yeah,
I
that was
mean,
the
yeah, you can't
advantage.
argue with that, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And going back into indies, I think there are legit like starting point that a lot of people oversee because they see the movies and they want to read Spider-Man, they want to read Batman. It's way easier to get like if you want to do cape shit, Invincible. I think it's the best example.
I was gonna say
Uh,
that as well.
yeah, maybe if you like darker shit, I don't know, Kick-Ass or one of the Mark Miller.
Yeah, yeah, the Millerverse ones.
Yeah,
There's Incorruptible and Irredeemable by Mark
yeah,
Waid. I haven't read them, but I hear good things about them. I think Astro City is that one. Um, I can't. There's lots of indie tape shit though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't think of any of it. I guess there's all the like. There's like a Supreme book I have by Warren Ellis. I don't know. I'd have to look at my shelf, and then I could tell you a whole bunch of
yeah,
them.
yeah,
Right
yeah.
now, it's not coming to me.
I think there's also that Radiant Black one I told you if you like
Yeah, Radiant Black, right?
Power
Yeah,
Ranger stuff.
yeah.
Um,
I read the description, and it did sound. It sounded very like Spider-Man esque or whatever.
Spider-Man meets Power Rangers, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's really cool. And then there's also the licensed one. Like if you're a really big Power Rangers fan, the comics are great, and you already know the lore probably.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
exactly. And like, man, like everything has
every
comics. Star
yeah,
Wars,
RoboCop.
Predator, Alien.
Yeah,
Oh man, Ed Brisson's doing the Predator series. You see that?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I made a post about it on the
Oh
page.
yeah, I didn't. I didn't
Yeah.
see
um,
that.
yeah, like Ninja Turtles, they started out as a
Yeah,
comic. They just rebranded now, so it's a good starting point right now.
yeah,
Aliens and Predator are also coming
yeah,
up with new series, so it's a great starting point, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What else? Well, I would say if you actually want to start with DC and Marvel, DC I don't know a lot about, but Marvel I definitely have some recs that may work for someone who's just starting out. Um, Mainly, there's this series. I'm looking it up right now because I don't remember the year it was published in. But there's this comic book called simply Spidey. I think it's from 2016. I want to say.
It's like a retelling of his like first year as Spider-Man or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah, it's really good. I really
yeah.
like. I think it's Robbie Thompson. Is that who did it?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm trying to look it up.
If I had like an easy, accessible running comic
Yeah.
on Marvel, um, okay, you gotta love heartbreaking comics, but 1 month to live. It's just like a short thing. This guy gets superpowers, but they're also killing him, and it's just like 5 issues, and it's heartbreaking, but it's really good. And like a lot of the different characters from the Marvel universe like play a little part here and there.
Yeah.
And it's just super short, easy. You can read it and then be done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but I lost my train of thought. Sorry. I think yeah, I think that's a good one. I think any Spider-Man one that is in Amazing Spider-Man works. Like right now they have non-stop Spider-Man.
So good, so
So
good.
good, yeah, so
Yeah,
good,
so
and
good. But call those art though, like.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And he's not coloring, so it's great.
Yeah. I like his colors, but I get why people don't.
I think they're too toned down, in my
Yeah, they're
opinion.
very like muted and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know if muted is the right word, but
But yeah, I think those two, Spidey and Nonstop Spider-Man, they are sort of out of continuity,
yeah.
so you can just start reading them, and I think they are innocent enough where a kid can buy them, but interesting enough that like an adult can also enjoy
No,
them.
no, Nonstop has like drug use.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I read a story about Punisher trying to kill a dude who's trying to kill
Yeah,
his
when you were
children
4, right?
when
Like,
I was
yeah.
4, so I think they can handle that. Like kids know more than adults think.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
yeah.
I would also recommend Ultimate Spider-Man is the closest thing we've gotten to a modernized Spider-Man. I feel like. Um,
Ultimate Spider-Man is the closest we've ever got to a perfect Spider-Man. If that.
yes, yes, and it. I wouldn't say it's long. Like reading it, it goes by quickly. So, and the great thing about Ultimate Spider-Man is spoilers. You also get the introduction of Miles Morales. So yeah, our dude. So if you want to get into Miles,
Actually,
You're killing two
have,
birds with one stone.
have his first appearance, and I found out today that that slab is a 9.6 is worth like $1,500, and I was like,
Oh,
damn.
damn. Yeah, that's a huge issue. Like I remember when Death of Spider-Man came out, like the internet dude was going crazy. The forums
Yeah. So they were like, they can't kill Spider Man.
and replace him with a black dude. Yeah,
Oh man, the internet went nuts.
that shit turned into fortune real quick. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, definitely Ultimate Spider-Man is one that I would recommend from the start. I don't
Uh,
know if it's modern anymore because like it's from the
yeah,
2000s.
yeah, no one's really got smartphones. I was
No,
just thinking that.
yeah, no, and their clothing is super 2000s.
Oh my
And
god, yeah, haircut.
yeah, he gets a job making the website for the Daily Bugle, and it's like anyone can do that now. So yeah, yeah. But nonetheless, I think you should read that, at least check it out. Um, and with DC, I think Batman Year Zero or Year One, both of those.
Yeah, your one's good. I was gonna say, there's also the Earth One line, is it or whatever?
Yeah, but
I mean, I don't like Jeff Johns. I was not going to recommend it for Batman, but like the Lemire did the Earth One Teen Titans, and that's
oh
really
yeah,
good.
that's good.
And I think Grant Morrison does the Earth One Wonder Woman, and that's supposed to be really good too. Or is it Earth Two?
I
I
did
don't
not
know how
read it.
DC does its Earth One, Earth Two things. I know they have both, and then I think there's a
They have
Green
like three.
Lantern one that people really like. It's not Far Sector, which people also really like.
Oh yeah,
And apparently, I think that's good to jump into if you're not like up on continuity or whatever. Also, if you like Green Lantern and concept, and you want something that's not bogged down with continuity, jump in with Far Sector. That's what everyone says.
yeah. Well, the thing with Year One is that they're very inconsistent because like the Green Lantern one is in the far distant future, like he's an astronaut, minor, something like that.
Yeah.
And the Batman one, I don't remember really. I
It's
think it
Jeff
was
Johns.
good.
I mean, you could probably skip it.
Yeah, but Year One by Frank Miller is from back when he was good and he hadn't gone totally crazy yet.
His Daredevil run is amazing.
His Daredevil run's amazing, but I don't know if I would recommend it as a starter.
No, no, it's definitely well, like
You
it's
you it's too dense.
it is, and it's like you have to read so much, like you got to read that Elektra book you did, Assassin or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and like then you have to be familiar with all these Spider-Man villains that he admittedly stole from Spider-Man to use in Daredevil.
Yeah, and some are kind of obscure if you don't read comics too.
Yeah.
But Zdarsky's run, would you recommend it for
Oh,
beginners?
no, I don't. I
Because
would
it's
recommend it for someone who's familiar with Daredevil. Like if you watched the Netflix series,
yeah,
jump in with Starsky's Run. If
yeah,
you are not familiar with any of Daredevil's history or any of these characters at all, don't.
yeah. I
Don't
was
do.
gonna say because before reading Zdarsky's run, I hadn't read any Daredevil run. To be honest,
Oh, you ever read Bendis's run?
I have now, but I didn't back then.
Okay, fair.
Like it inspired me to go back, but having watched the Netflix show, like yeah, you can piece it together. Um, Also, right now it's a good time to get into DC because of the Infinite Frontier restart they're doing, which is it's kind of confusing.
Is it ever a good time to get into DC?
Never, but right now it's one of the least worst times, I guess.
I mean, they've got some good offerings. Like I'll never fully trash DC. I just
Yeah.
hate this like continuity reboot button they've got sitting in the middle of their editorial thing. It's like, do we hit it? Is this the week we hit it? Do we hit it this week? Can we hit it? Can we hit it, guys? Can we hit it? Like, no, no, you can't hit it. Stop hitting it, please. No more
Yeah.
Batman. No more Batman. Just kill him. Kill Bruce. Get rid of him.
Yeah, yeah, they should. They should honestly just let either Dick or
The Dick and Damien years, man, those were the best
they were
years.
good. Yeah, they were
Those were
great.
the best years. Grant Morrison
Great.
knows how
Yeah.
to write. They
Uh,
know how to write.
But still I would recommend if you want to read comics, just DC Comics start right now, and try to ignore the whole death death metal thing. It sucks and it's confusing, and it tries. That's the thing with DC. They always try to simplify shit and end up making it way more complicated.
Yep.
But yeah, also, well, I recommended Year Zero by yeah, Zack Snyder, Scott Snyder. Which one is the comic one? Zack, or is it Scott? Scott Snyder is the comic one, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, I couldn't. I can't believe I had trouble with that. Zack Snyder does movies. Scott Snyder does comics.
Okay, they are not related at all, but yeah, definitely Year Zero by Scott Snyder. I really enjoyed that one. I haven't seen it get a lot of praise, but I think it was a good origin story.
I didn't really like the take they had on
Red Hood.
Doctor Freeze in that, Mister Freeze in
What do you mean?
that. I'm not sure. Maybe it was something else I'm thinking of. I don't know. I didn't read it. My buddy just read his run. It was like, yeah, the take on Mister Freeze or whatever, Doctor Freeze.
Yeah. Well, I think Snyder's take on any villain is good. Like, I recommend legit reading his whole run, like from except for death metal, um,
It's not really a
from
Batman thing, is it? Oh,
but it started as one, like the whole Batman Who Laughs
oh
stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess it is heavy on the Batman who laughed.
Yeah, and then DC was like, "Oh, this shit sells. Make everyone who laughs," and then it got destroyed.
Everyone laughed.
Everyone laughs. They're all really happy
Yeah.
people. But yeah, from Court of the Owls, great. Death of the Family, great too. I really love them. The Capullo art, obviously, is great. So yeah, read Snyder's run. It's kind of old, but it's Gucci. And oh, also right now there's the Gotham Underground Stories, I think it's called, which is the one Zdarsky is writing.
Mm. Yeah, I heard he was reading something.
Yeah, it's great. There's two, like, it's one of those that has like three different stories.
Yeah.
You can skip the two of those and just read the Zdarsky one. So it's a quick read and it's great. It's Red Hood, and I think it's going to get to the point where they have to reconciliate finally, Batman and Red Hood. There's a lot of drug usage, so maybe not for kids. I remembered now.
Our comics really aren't for kids.
No,
I
they're
mean,
not. That's
like,
another thing people get wrong. There, but I'd say you can read them as a kid. Just
yeah, I
like,
mean, I did.
yeah, I did too, but they're really not for kids, especially when they get crazy dudes like Miller and they want to fucking rape everyone apart and rape everyone and shit. That's when it kind of gets fucked. But
Actually, yeah, even thinking about that Iron Man arc I had when I was a kid, like Billy Vaughn was an addict. The guy that like Sing Sang Boom reincarnates too. Like
dude,
he was stealing money to buy drugs.
Tony Stark was a full blown alcoholic. Like, yeah,
His
comics are
dad killed his mom. Like
what?
Hulk's dad killed his mom.
Oh yeah. Oh, Immortal Hulk. If you like horror, read Immortal Hulk. It's kind of trash right now, but the first, I would say, 40 issues were really great.
It's really like Immortal Hulk and that sort of body horror. I actually just picked up on Wednesday. Ultra Mega. It's
Uh,
like kaiju meets body horror. Really fucking good.
I,
Cannot recommend it enough.
I gotta read that. But yeah, I think. Do you have any other
No, I
recommendation?
think. Well, should we talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier a little bit just to close
Oh
it? Just to
yeah,
close
definitely.
it.
But I wanted to close it, like make sure we didn't have any other wrecks, because we
Oh
kind of
yeah,
skipped a lot of important people like the Avengers, the Justice League.
yeah, but I mean, like those, like what Avengers run do you really need so much backstory for? And most of it, it's like if you need backstory, it's from the run on another character.
Yeah,
Like if you need any backstory for Jason Aaron's run, it's probably only his Thor.
which is dense, by the
Yeah.
way. It's great,
Very
but
good.
it's dense. Would not recommend. If you're a kid, I think the current Avengers one is gonna be great for you. But if you're like 13 and older, I wouldn't recommend getting it because it's not great. It's not great.
Yeah, it's a little dumbed down. It's a little like
A little,
he made for like preteens, like yeah, 12, 11, 10 years old
yeah.
in there. But like there's some things that I've liked about it. I don't know. I think Aaron's tired, man. He just seems tired.
Yeah, and his editor, I don't think he's doing his job.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not telling him like, "Oh, you should maybe rewrite this because the
Yeah.
dialogue sucks."
Yeah.
But if you're a kid, I think you will enjoy it because it has a lot of variety of enemies and characters that come and go. So I can definitely see a kid enjoying it. It reminds me a lot of the Earth's Mightiest Heroes show, but not as good.
No.
So yeah, a kid I think can get into it. I don't know what the fuck's going on right now with Iron Man. Um,
Dan Slott was a little. Oh no, Cantwell. Cantwell's taking it over now.
I don't know what's going on, but
I
yeah,
like.
like
Oh,
I, I would say if there's a character that you're interested in from the movies or the shows, just go out, get a copy and see if you
Google
like
it.
it, and if you don't, get another one. I guess
Just Google it.
just Google it too. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of lists way better than ours that can recommend
Yeah.
you comics. Yeah, and YouTube
Yeah. Like
channels too.
this is a brief like introduction to we I could give you like a 10-page list if you want to. I'm not gonna because we don't have time for that.
Yeah, definitely. I think also check out comic tube. Like the comic book YouTubers are a great place to get lore and recommendations too. There's a lot of channels. I would personally recommend Comic Drake, Comic Pop. They all have comic in the name. Comic Storian, Comics Explained. I think all of those are great resources if you want to learn more about a character. They are great. So yeah, I hope those are. I hope we help someone without rambling
Yeah.
to get into comics.
We
But
did just ramble for a little
we
bit.
just ramble for 40 minutes.
This
But
happens.
but okay. So you watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Did you also
No,
watch the Snyder Cut?
I did not watch the Snyder Cut. I
Okay.
do not have 4 hours to waste watching a piece of garbage. I will have at some point 4 hours to waste watching a piece of
No,
garbage.
you're totally wrong. I was on your side yesterday, but then I watched it. I didn't finish it because it's too long. Like I made it to
I've
the
heard
half.
both. I've heard people who are like, I was on your side, then I watched it and it's great. And I heard people who are like, I was excited for it, then I watched it and it's shit.
No, those people are stupid. It's great. I am not a Snyder fan. I like his
Is it? Tell
directing
me
style.
more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay, I like the way he directs. I do not like his scripts or the way he represents characters. I don't think he gets characters
His
like
visuals, is good. I'll give him that.
which one?
His visuals. Like he gets the visual
Yeah,
story
yeah.
thing. Like how to
His
frame everything and I can't stand Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. She's cardboard, bro. Just cardboard.
you can ignore it. The important ones in the cut are basically Cyborg, who is great. Aquaman is great too. Flash is still funny, but not as like he's funnier than the original cut because he's not as cringy. So like you should watch it. You're gonna like it. But
I guarantee you I will not like it, but I am going to watch it. I fully intend to.
watch it with a friend. That's what I did.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it with
Yeah,
a friend. I'm gonna watch it with a friend who shares the exact same position as me.
yeah.
So we're both going into it venomously hating Snyder and ready to rip it apart. We saw Man of Steel like
It
in
sucks.
theaters for the ship. Of
Yeah.
course, like why would they think like let's get a guy who doesn't like Superman to reboot our DC universe, starting with Superman?
Well, I mean, Marvel got Bendis who didn't like the Avengers to reboot the Avengers, and it worked.
Yeah, but I mean that's he because they gave him carte blanche. They were just like do it your way,
Yeah.
but not like you know. Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
that's the thing with the cut. It's definitely him doing what he wants.
yeah.
I think it's the most comic book movie I've ever seen. Like there's one of the very first scenes with Wonder Woman where he uses foreshortening the exact same way a comic book artist would. So yeah, visually he's great, but I think also the script is way better. The characters he gets them finally. They have heart, and there's a lot of cute details. I think. Y- I think you'll like it.
I'll watch it. I'm
You
not
you
gonna
should
like it. I'll watch it.
you should watch it on your trip. Like download it and watch it.
Nah, I don't have 4 hours to waste.
How long's your road trip?
Well, the trip's like 3 days, and then like I'll be working like 10 to 12 hours a day.
Ah,
Um,
okay. Yeah, no, you don't have time. Okay.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay,
I'm
well,
talking shit post about comics, though.
I liked it, and I did not like any of the
I
DC
don't.
movies.
If
So
anyone likes Zack Snyder, that's your prerogative, and I respect you for it. I don't.
okay, that's great. Well, we'll see someday if you like it once you've watched it.
Yeah. Did you read what he was gonna do for the sequels though?
No, I did not.
Oh man.
What did he say? Oh
Oh
no.
man. Batman was gonna like impregnate Lois while Superman was dead, and then Batman was going to like travel back in time, or no, the Flash is gonna travel back in time and get Batman to
Dude, no.
save
Why?
her by telling Bruce that it was his baby, and then like Clark and Lois were gonna raise the baby, and it was gonna grow up to be the next Batman.
Super
It sounds
Batman.
like a shit show, bro.
Did you also see the quote where he said Batman could get raped in one of his movies? Like, why? Why would he get raped? But yeah, no, I swear to you, it's good.
But he could. Like I could do it.
I,
Like
I,
I could do it,
he
right?
could.
Like I could do it. That's like yeah. I mean, what? What, dude? What? Anyway, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. Did you like it?
Loved it. Thought it was
Loved.
really great. It was like I was talking about with like the setup issues. It was very much a setup episode, but it was like a good setup episode.
I I was kind of nervous because it obviously seems a lot more MCU like than WandaVision. So I was
Yeah.
worried that it would be too generic, and I was also worried about CGI because I'm guessing they do not have the same budget as the movies, but the CGI I think it was great.
I
It
think the budget for WandaVision was something like ridiculous. Like those, the budget for those shows are ridiculous.
Yeah, but I think also time like they said WandaVision the last episode the CGI wasn't great because they ran out of time because of Corona, and I did notice that.
Mhm.
But on this one, on the Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's great. I think it made me like Falcon, who I did not like before this. I like the
You
actor.
like Falcon?
I like the actor. I love him. But I think he always seemed like no one liked him in the team. um, and he was always like bullying them, so I get why. But I think their show really does a good job of making you feel for him and the bullshit they pull out at the end with a U.S. agent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Who, by the,
I really think like that scene with Rhodey, they're definitely gonna make Rhodey the next Iron Man, like 100%.
I don't know. I think they will retire him in Armor Wars. That's what I'm betting.
You think they're gonna retire Rhodey?
In Armor Wars.
Yeah, I don't know. I
After
don't know.
the, I think he's gonna be Riri's mentor, and then they're gonna retire him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
because
see.
they're building for new Avengers right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're building to the West Coast, and like Rhodey was Iron Man on the West Coast. Think about it. They got White Vision, they got Scarlet Witch, they got Moon Knight coming up, they got U.S. agent. He's big on this.
Yeah, he was the leader after Hawkeye.
Yeah, the West Coast Avengers. Like it seems to me anyway, like they're going for a West Coast Avengers thing.
So you
But
think
they're
it?
also going for a young Avengers thing. Like
Yeah,
they got Riri's coming up. Miss
Miss
Marvel is
Marvel,
coming up.
Miles probably too. I think.
Miles. You got Stature already exists.
Yeah,
You could easily work
Kate,
out Amadeus because Helen Cho was in
Age of
Age
Ultron.
of Ultron.
There's Kate Bishop in the
Kate
new
Bishop,
Hawkeye
yeah,
show.
she's coming out. So yeah, they'll probably do a young Avengers thing. Oh, they got Billy and they got Speed and
Yeah,
Wiccan now in
WandaVision.
WandaVision.
They're in
Yeah, and
hell right
somebody
now.
I read online and like I don't necessarily agree, but someone's like one of Falcon's fucking nephews is gonna be Patriot, and I was like, okay,
No, well, I think that would suck.
it would, but I mean, like whatever.
Uh,
They're obviously doing something towards it.
I really like Patriot's story that he's. I think it's a great commentary on the war. Like his dad was experimenting on before Steve, because they didn't know if the formula was stable, so they were like, "Ah, fuck you, you're black," which I mean,
Who was
obviously sucked, but
the
that's the point of the story.
function or something? Whatever. Yeah, his family.
His
I don't know
family,
what.
like his grandparent or
I just
dad.
don't think the MCU would embrace the dark history behind the Super Soldier Serum.
I mean, I think they should. Like, they're already criticizing like the way the government kind of takes things away from minorities in Winter Soldier and
Oh,
Falcon.
agreed. Just that isn't it like Erskine that does it in the comics? I mean, I guess they could rework it and have it not
Yeah,
be just like because he was the one who like developed the Super Soldier
yeah.
Serum, right? So
I
probably
think it
have
was
to
him.
have him. I mean, even in the movies, they probably have to have him involved in that testing in
Yeah,
some way.
yeah. Well, I think a lot of people in history like we think are good, and then we find out they were pieces of shit. So I think it would be interesting.
Okay, well, that's interesting.
I think they should do it. I think they should go with the original.
I think they will. I do like. I think I like. I don't think they shouldn't. I just don't see them doing that because then they'd have to be like the
To
dark history behind Captain America,
yeah.
and you want to keep him retired as the Golden Boy, right?
Mm, it's not his fault though.
No, it wouldn't be his fault, but there's still a cost to being Captain America.
But
Steve,
yeah,
would you be okay with blah blah blah? I mean, it's one thing if you can do it where Steve can actually like deal with it, but he's out of the movies now. You can't have him like acknowledge it and be like, "Oh, that's fucked up that they did that, and I'll do better." And
I think I think you can. I mean, he's not dead. He's just old.
yeah, but they won't bring him back. Like they're
You
not gonna,
you don't know.
not gonna. I don't think
I,
so.
I can definitely see Chris Evans coming back, get a paycheck.
He doesn't want to though. Like he does not want to. He was
They
like, "I'm done. I'm done."
they never want to, but give it a few years. Give it 5 years, and he'll
You
be back. He'll be back.
think so?
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think he's
I'm
done.
betting on it right now.
I think him and Robert Downey Jr. are out. Although someone said that it would be really cool to have Robert Downey Jr. play the Tony Stark AI in Ironheart, and I was
Hmm.
like, yeah, yeah, that would be cool. That
As
would be
a
cool.
voice actor, yeah,
Even just like have him like do the like motion capture or whatever,
yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
keep over it.
Yeah, I think that should work. That could work.
Could
But
work. Yeah, I don't think he'll do it.
no,
And I don't think they'll pay him to do that
no.
because he's very expensive.
Well, he has like stakes on it. Like he's making money from Marvel,
Yeah.
anyways. So yeah, that's one I don't think will come back. But I can see Evans coming back. Um,
Like I could see them wanting to bring him back.
yeah, definitely.
I don't think he'll do it.
Going back into the show because we
Yeah,
haven't.
right. You got me sorry. You got sidetracked as we
Yeah,
do.
yes, we do. Um, I really like the scenes with Bucky.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Oh man, I felt so bad for him with
It breaks your heart.
I don't want to be racist and just call him the Japanese dude, but I don't remember his last name. But
I
the
think he's
Jap.
Korean.
Oh
The
shit! No,
girl
no, no. He's Japanese.
Is it Japanese? Because I thought it maybe I don't know. I watched it with the subtitles on, and they had somebody in the thing speaking Korean or
Speaking,
something.
okay, we're
But that
sounding
might have been
really.
somebody in the restaurant.
This is a bad look, but okay, the Asian dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Um, I feel really bad because like you just see the pain in his face, dude. Like,
No,
oh man.
breaks your heart.
And his therapist sucks. She's the worst therapist I've ever seen. Like I've gone to therapy, and she should not be like. He even calls her out. Like she shouldn't be reacting like that.
Yeah.
But
But like also like I mean, I understand that she's maybe not a good therapist, but also he doesn't like he kind of needs to be confronted with it because otherwise he's just gonna hide from it.
yeah, but there's a difference. Like I think
There is like,
that
and don't get me wrong, I'm not defending her
yeah,
therapy by any means, but like I get that you can't just approach Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, with like a classic approach to therapy. It's not gonna work. The
yeah, no,
dude literally is made of trauma.
yeah, yeah. I like the twist where they make it seem like he's gonna kill the lady, the government lady.
Yeah,
Like he's gonna break the rules, but at the end he doesn't. I think
yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool. Like they were gonna be super edgy, but then they weren't. I think that's great. Um,
I am excited to see Demo come back in the play. I was upset we didn't get to see him in the first episode, but I know why. Because I mean, like you don't set up the villain in the first episode, right?
I don't like the mask.
You don't like the
I
mask?
don't like the mask.
You don't like the mask? The purple man, that mask is drip.
No, I like the comics one, but I don't know. The one in the trailer seemed off to me. I don't know why.
I don't know. Like we don't really. Okay, we didn't really see much of it in the trailer, right? Like it's a brief flash, but I think it looks fine. I think it looks fine.
I I hope it looks better in the show,
Yeah.
because Simo is one of my top 10 favorite villains. He's so
I
good.
mean, like I don't hate Demo by any
I
means.
love him.
I
I love
don't
his
see
look.
him being
He's so
top
sexy,
10.
dude. Like that dude could like fucking storm my mansion
Like
anytime. Like,
that dude could fuck my wife, and I'd be like, "You go,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah,
You go."
yeah, definitely.
No,
But
yeah, no, I get it.
Sam's partner, the Air Force dude, is a fucking idiot. I don't
Of
like
course
him.
he is.
I don't like him.
I
Uh,
mean, he's a moron, but like I'm fine with him.
like,
Whatever.
how are you gonna see like a super dude and be like trying to arrest him? I don't know what the fuck he was trying to do. Pulls out a gun.
I
Like,
mean, and
shoot
also
him.
like, how do you see someone that is clearly enhanced
Yeah,
like that, and just like Sam has to point out to this person, like he's like, "Oh, you think like maybe they're enhanced?" Like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah. He's an idiot. Like,
you're fucking moron. Yeah.
um,
Like I'm fine with them, whatever. Sometimes people are idiots.
I mean, but I would hope military dudes, Air Force dude, like top top of the top, right?
Yeah,
I would hope so.
you'd hope so, but like
Also, like he doesn't even have jurisdiction in Germany. He's just there. That's illegal. Like
that's never stopped the United States before.
because they don't get caught until years later. But he should be arrested. Like
Probably, yeah.
and the actor too. I think he's trying to look too hot, like the way he
Yeah.
talks, and he's like, you're on an exposition dump and you're trying to look hot. Like what the fuck is that? I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't like him. I want him dead, please. But
Well, the good news is he probably will die.
yeah, and and I bet they're gonna try to make it like super sad, and it's just not gonna land.
They're gonna try and pull a Coulson with him, but
Yeah,
nobody is attached to this character like they were to Coulson.
yeah, definitely. I don't know about the boat plot. I think it's only there to have drama.
I think it's just there. They were like, we gotta flesh out Sam more.
Yeah, but I don't like it. I like it, the way like the actress. I think she's a nice actress. But I don't know. I don't care about his boat.
Yeah, I mean, like it's supposed to be like he's struggling because blah blah blah, and like being black in America. But like, yeah, I don't. It felt a little Forrest Gumpy to me. The whole thing with the boat. It did.
Yeah,
It felt a little bit like, yeah,
small
this is
boat.
your boat.
Yeah,
Yeah, my boat.
in my house. S-
Uh,
Like I don't know.
yeah,
But
and also like I get that your parents lived there, but you sell the house, bro.
yeah, just sell it. I mean, it's a cute house, but I would sell it. Like you're in debt.
You're in debt, and like real estate's good money these days, man. Like
Yeah,
you're probably sitting on like $250,000 just on the land alone.
yeah, definitely. But I do not understand why he's not getting paid. Like he works for the government. He's Air Force, so why are they not paying him? How is he broke?
Like does he work for the government,
He,
or is he like a?
he said it. He says I've been working for Air Force for like six
Yeah,
months now.
okay, so yeah, I mean, I don't
Because
know.
I understand that he got blipped and he
Yeah, no,
has
like that part I get, but yeah,
yeah
like shouldn't he have a paycheck?
yeah they should be paying him like
And also, how did Tony Stark not pay any of them?
well he's I mean have you seen Elon Musk and how fucking greedy he is?
Yeah, I know. I just like how do you not pay any of them? Like, okay, I get not paying Cap, like that's what he lives for, but like some of those people have lives outside of being
Fuck
Avengers.
him. I mean, this dude
Fuck about
drafted
Tony Stark. Fuck him.
yeah this dude drafted a fucking 15-year-old into a war, like a full scale multiple countries spanning conflict.
Yeah.
I don't think he cares that much. And also, I think he didn't want to pay them because conflict of interest. It's my only guess. But
Yes, it is a conflict of interest, and I am paying you to save lives.
well, yeah, it is kind of because then they are not doing it for goodwill,
Well,
as
so
Falcon
then maybe
says.
that's why Falcon's not getting paid.
Yeah, fuck him. Maybe he just didn't like Falcon. he didn't. He paid Vision, but he didn't pay
He's
Falcon.
been paying Black Widow all this time.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, Bruce Banner. Yeah, he makes like $50,000. I got him over in my science department.
yeah. How do you think he got his like Hulk clothing in Endgame? Like that is
Because he
rich.
can.
Um, I don't like that Red Wing is a drone. Like it's a nice.
I was literally saying like I get why they can't do it in the movies, like have him literally talking to a bird, but like yeah, I miss Red Wing being a bird.
Bro, the two of the biggest MCU characters are a talking raccoon and a walking tree. They can put a fucking bird, dude.
But they're
Like
also aliens. And like, okay, so are you gonna make Red Wing an alien bird that can talk to him? Or are you gonna make Sam be able to talk to birds?
he's a mutant bird in the comics.
No, he isn't. Sam
Yeah.
can talk to birds in the comics. Sam got the powers from the cosmic cube to talk to
Oh yeah,
birds.
that's right from the Red Skull.
Yeah, he
But
was a vampire bird
I
for a
think
bit.
Red Wing also was psychic, wasn't he?
Hmm?
I thought Red Wing was psychic too, or some shit like that.
Well, I don't know about. I don't know. Maybe they have like a psychic bond or something like that. I
Mm.
know Red Wing was a vampire for a bit.
Yeah,
Also,
that's the thing. Yeah, I remember there was a weird thing about him. Yeah, that's the
yeah.
thing. He's a vampire bird.
Yeah.
They should. I think they should do it. Like I like the drone. It's a nice modernization, but I want to
Yeah,
see the
no, like
bird.
I'm fine with it, but like yeah, I would like it to be a bird. I just get why they can't do it. The same reason you can't have Galactus in a Fantastic Four movie literally be a massive human being in a purple suit with
They
a giant helmet. You got to
they
do something with
nah
that design. Like you
nah.
can still have him be a giant dude. You just that design does
No
not work
no man,
in the modern age.
it's gonna work. It's gonna work, and they're gonna get who's the dude from Guardians, the director
James Gunn.
James Gunn. James Gunn could pull it off.
He could, but that's
Taika
like James Gunn.
Taika
It's
Waititi.
Mark Webb. He's doing Mark Webb.
Oh, the
The guy who did
Spider-Man.
Homecoming, yeah, the guy who did all the Spider-Man movies.
The, no,
He's doing a fantastic
it's
job.
not Mark Webb. It's another dude.
Yeah, no, Mark Webb did Amazing Spider-Man. You're
Yeah,
right.
it's that dude from Far From Home. Okay, then we're not getting Galactus.
No, no, we're not.
Definitely
We're probably
not.
gonna get like Mole Man or something.
Ah, no, dude, fuck. At least like give us the scrolls. Oh, but
They
they're
gave us
good.
the show.
They're good guys.
Except in Secret Invasion, the show they're gonna do on Disney Plus, it's gonna be like there's a splinter group of evil Skrulls, and
Okay, that show's gonna suck.
no, it might be okay. It's gonna have Samuel L. Jackson. It's gonna have Ben Mendelsohn. It's gonna have
Yeah, but it's not gonna be as good as the event.
well, of course not, but it's gonna be very different than the event. Age of Ultron, the movie is not as good as Age of Ultron, the comics. Well, no, it's not.
It's not, and Civil War is not at all as good as the comic.
Yeah, exactly. Like
That
they do the
last
best they can.
the final fight is sad
It is.
to
It's,
me.
it's like it's like I'm thinking Civil War, where it's literally like every hero in the Marvel universe just like fighting,
Yeah,
and
beating
then
the
you
shit
get
out of
like
each other.
6 people at an airport.
Yeah, and it's gray.
It's
The
great.
it's
It's not Civil War.
yeah. No, I do not like that movie. Like I like aspects of it, but yeah, it's really sad.
I like the movie; it's fine, but like I'd rather read Civil War the comic
Yeah,
book than watch Civil War the movie.
but one thing that I don't like about comic book fans is a lot of them are idiots who don't get context because
A lot of people are idiots.
yeah, well, a lot of people are idiots, but comic book fans in special because I've seen a lot of people complain about U.S. Agent being a worse Captain America, and that's the point.
Like, yeah, that's the point, of
Why are
course.
you
They're like,
complaining?
not my Captain America. And it's like, yeah, he's gonna be a dick. What are you? He's the bad guy.
Yeah,
He's the bad
well,
guy.
I don't know if they're
Well,
gonna
okay, not the
go.
bad guy, but
Yeah,
he's the anti-hero, the good guy who, you know, isn't good.
yeah, he's the dude your
The good guy who
ex.
isn't good at being good.
He's the guy your ex gets with after you. I think that's the feeling.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like yeah, that's the point. You're not supposed to like him.
No.
They're like, oh, it's so dumb. I don't
That's
like
why they
him.
got Wyatt Russell, Mr. Likeable.
Poor dude. He's gonna get it.
Yeah.
He
He had
should.
to know though. He had to know what he was getting into.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope they prepare him. But yeah, I don't know. It's funny to me how you can completely ignore the context, like the point. It goes over your head by that far. Like,
Yeah.
do they really think Marvel is trying to replace Captain? Like,
Yeah. No, of course not. Yeah. This guy, yeah.
yeah. Like, um, and also, well, what do you think? Do you think Falcon should get the shield or Bucky?
Fucking.
Falcon. Yeah, right. I don't get the people who are voting
I
for
mean, like,
Bucky.
I get, like, that Bucky's got history with the shield in the comics, but so does Falcon. And,
Yeah,
like,
Falcon got it before.
also, like, yeah, like, Cap's supposed to be, like, a symbol. Bucky's a Black Ops dude. Different.
Yeah, yeah, and I think I don't know. I think he's a nicer dude too in the movies in
Yeah.
general. I think I like him that he's different than Chris Evans or like
Yeah.
Steve Rogers. But he's a dope dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't get people who want Bucky to be captain. Like,
Yeah.
why? And what else? What else can we say about it? It's great.
Well, I think,
Cinematography is surprisingly good to me.
oh my god, the fighting was, like, it wasn't brutal or anything.
No,
Like I like a good brutal fight
yeah,
scene, but it was very clear, very well choreographed, very concise action.
it was video game stuff. Like when he jumps into the helicopter to say that, that's great, dude. I like. Ah, I love that.
Or man, like the one scene where I was like, he launches out of the plane or something. I was like, in real life, he would have just got sucked into that fucking turbine, but who cares?
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of Final Destination shit there where he just throws a dude out of the airplane.
Yeah.
Like I see a lot of people
My
say
roommate was watching it, and he's like, he just killed like
he.
four people.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I see a lot of people say that they like DC stuff because they are more edgy and kill people, but like Marvel heroes kill people all the fucking time. You just don't
Yeah.
see it. They don't focus on it, but they do.
That first Age of Ultron, like that first fight scene in Age of Ultron, they killed like 20 people in
Yeah,
that scene.
yeah. And dude, in Civil War, the opening scene too, where fucking Falcon lands on a dude,
Yeah.
that killed him, and then I think people forget the shield is made out of really heavy metal.
Yeah, like it would cut your head off if it
It
got
would
to your
break
head.
your fucking spine if it hits
Yeah.
you. Like all the people he hits with it are dead, or
Yeah.
at least paralyzed. Like yeah, the Avengers are savage.
Yeah. They just don't treat themselves like edgy.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not emo about it. I think.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, yeah, we killed a couple people. Here's a beer.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's their job. They
Yeah,
treat it as a job, not like a satisfaction thing.
yeah.
But well, we've been going on for a little bit more than 1 hour. I think. Do you have anything else
Oh,
you'd like to say?
I think that's a pretty good closer.
Yeah,
There. Yeah,
I hope everything recorded well.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
After our first run had some
oh
difficulties
man,
with it.
yeah, what a day. But I'll try to put timestamps on it so people can like jump to whatever topic they
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to. I don't promise that though, but
Yeah,
yeah,
no worries.
I think that's it for today. Thank you for listening. I hope everyone enjoyed it. It's our first one, so be cool.
Feel free to
Be
critique us.
what?
Feel free to critique us.
Yeah, definitely like tell us if we suck and what we should change and whatnot. But I think we did relatively well.
All right. That's pretty
Um,
good.
yeah, so I think everyone enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time where we'll be talking about what was the next?
I
I,
am
I
blanking to
I know. Hold up, I have it here. It's about oh yeah, it's about comic book events. Um,
event episode.
it's that episode. We're gonna talk about our general opinion on events, how they've evolved, like from the very first few first crossovers to what they are now, and our favorite ones
Are
definitely.
they good? Are they bad?
Are they
Who
good?
knows?
Yeah, and maybe give some recommendations on what to read,
Yep. And recommendations on whatnot.
and yeah, and which ones to avoid,
Don't
which
be a
is
big
most of
hype.
them, but
You know,
yeah, but I guess we'll see you whenever the next episode comes out.
been real.
Yep. Goodbye. Have a nice day, I guess. Bye.
Day, night, morning, whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for listening. Bye.